Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my Vulnerably Badass YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about how to manage time or how to manage priorities. The reason I wanted to talk about this today is because I was talking to my friend earlier today and I was asked, how do you keep doing what you're doing every day as a habit, or how do you manage time like really consistently? So we were talking about some of the things that I try. So I thought, oh, why don't I talk about this on YouTube? So I want to share a little bit. And first of all, I think my prioritization or planning or time management or whatever you call it starts from monthly planning. So I think I showed in earlier YouTube too, but I have this planner that has both monthly view and weekly view. And for monthly view, something like, this is February, but February planning, 3 goals I want to achieve, something I hope to do, something I must do, something to purchase, things like that. And this is helpful for me to kind of think about bigger goal or monthly theme. So for example, for January, for me, the first thing is because I was planning 2 national park trip with my son because he has longer weekend this month. So first goal is to have fun with him. So I booked all the flights, hotel, and all the activities that helped me to organize the tasks, what I need to do. And then the second thing was swimming because I wanted to try triathlon. So I decided to take a class from February, but for January, my personal goal was to get used to going to the pool and get used to getting in the water and increasing my lap every time I go. So I don't have like a rigorous goal of like, okay, I'm swimming like 1,000 yard every day or nothing like that. But I didn't even plan a goal. The first is like first lap. Just 1 lap is enough. If I go in, do 1 lap, that's fine. And the next time I go in and just 2 lap, that's fine. But it ended up because, usually you don't just finish in 1 lap because you have to go and come back. So it's kind of like 2 laps is 1. So I've been to the pool 3 times now. So at least the freestyle, I did 1 lap and 2 laps, and then the second time I did 4 laps, and then the third time I did 6 laps. So it's increasing. And the important thing is, I don't have to increase 2 laps a time. If I feel like increasing just 1 lap, that's fine. Just at least more than last time. But I don't have to pressure myself. You have to do this or anything. So I end up even doing different strokes. So the second time I went, I did 3 breaststrokes and 1 backstroke. And then the third time I went, I did 4 breaststrokes and 2 backstroke. So overall, it's increasing. I think the most important thing is not to pressure yourself too much, but just say, as long as it's better than last time, you're okay. At least that works for me because I'm so weak to pressure. Anyway, so that's my second monthly goal, like go start swimming, go to the pool. So my idea was go to the pool at least once a week and get used to going to the pool. And then that will lead to probably my February goal is going to be, because I signed up for this swimming class that's twice a week, 1 hour each. So it's kind of like scaffolding for me. And then the third one is I found out last year, I don't have credit card in US. I'm using credit card that I had in Japan and Korea, but I realized like, I don't have any credit in US, so I have to build credit. So my January goal is applying for credit cards. So there are 2 banks that I tried. So these 3 areas, time with my son and my health, that's swimming, and my financial, business is credit card. So that's the big picture I first planned for monthly. And then every week on so the monthly plan, I usually do it at the first of month, and at the end of the month I review, right? Reflect. And then weekly planning, I do that usually Monday morning, but if I know that Monday morning I'm gonna be busy, it's Sunday afternoon. Ideally, Sunday afternoon is reflection of the whole week, and Monday morning is the weekly planning. But before I do the weekly planning, I look at the monthly goals and see how much I done something so that I know what I want to do this week. And so for weekly planning, I think about the 3 themes or 3 goals, but also I write down on the weekly section of this thing, it has Monday, Wednesday. So on this side, I write down like timeline. I use Google Calendar, everything digital, but in order for me to kind of remind myself and motivate myself, I actually write it down. All the events that's scheduled. So it can be my son's school events, or it could be my business coaching, training sessions, or it can be my running, what time I want to run on which day. So I write down everything. So then that will make it clear for me, like, what do I need to do? So I am having session on this day. Am I ready for that? Do I need any kind of preparation? And if I need to prepare, like, for Thursday session, maybe like something, I will do it on Tuesday, or so that the tasks that I have to do, I will write it on this to-do checkbox mark. So I know, like, oh, I have to print this out, or I have to send this to this person, or I have to send a reminder. So on Monday morning, I know what to do exactly. And that helps because you can actually visualize what you need to do and what kind of prep you need. And in my case, if I don't write it down and if I keep thinking, and if I just have it in the Google Calendar, Google Calendar helps, but writing down kind of calms me down, like, oh, I know I got this. So that's what I do weekly. And then every morning when I wake up, I spend morning time daily planning and journaling. But what I do is, like, I look at this, again, the schedule and then the to-dos, and decide, prioritize which one to do first, or break down the task into smaller tasks and assign the time. So I actually move the task in the daily calendar, what time I'm going to do this. For example, just emailing someone as an initiation, just one first step, or calling someone is good enough. So I make small tasks. Otherwise, if the task is too big, you feel like you haven't completed, so you can't do the check. So I will make it small to feel like at least I initiated the action, it's moving forward. So that's what I do. So by doing daily planning, you know exactly what you're gonna do today or what you want to do first. So important thing is which one you want to do first. And usually in my case, if anything urgent, deadline is closer or some other people are involved, I try to prioritize that. But also something related to my health and my well-being, I try to prioritize that. So it's up to you, what's important to you, right? And for me, in the morning, I use this self-care journal too. And so it has like what kind of activities you want to do and things that were fun or relaxing today, things that were hard or stressful today. I use it as a goal setting, so things that will be fun or relaxing today. So I write down and what I look forward to, or things that will be hard or stressful or not so motivating or something, then I will write it down so that it will be more like motivation to do the tasks. Then by the time I know what to do, so that helps. And one thing my friend asked is like, what about the things that you don't really want to do or you don't like to do? First of all, if I don't like to do it, I don't have to do it. But the thing, something that's harder for me to do is something that I'm not really good at, something like admin stuff or accounting stuff, which I'm not good at. So I tend to be hesitant, but I know it's really important for me. Regarding accounting, I schedule a 45-minute session every other week with my accountant. So we have online meeting to go over my accounts so I can be more aware of my financial situation. And around that time, I make sure that I go over my bank statement or invoices, something related to business or sorting out receipts. So kind of stacking, right, to this accounting appointment. Not only the accounting appointment, but before and after, I make sure that I do other accounting related tasks that I can do on my own. So that helps because you block the time in the calendar. And another thing I try to do every time in regards to this accounting is every time I finish the session, I make sure I schedule the next session so that I know when it's going to happen next time. And that's going to be the priority. So that's the accountability that you are getting from other people or the system or program. So that's something that I try. And something like swimming, like I said earlier, for January, my goal is to go weekly. So I try to piggyback it with my son's fun swimming. So I can take my son to the pool, he can have fun, and I can do my lap swim. So that's again, holding yourself accountable because of outside accountability. You're doing not only just yourself, but somebody else is involved. So you will be more accountable. And from February, I signed up for the swimming class. So I paid, and it's a program, so even more accountability increases. And for my health, monthly I try to go to this appointment for body pot where I can go and check my fat percentage and non-fat mass. So that is again appointment with somebody else. I have to go somewhere, so that's an accountability for me to eat healthy and make sure that I build more muscle. I don't pay too much attention to losing weight, but my goal is to build muscle. So body part 2, every time I finish the appointment, I schedule another appointment. That's usually 1 month or a month and a half ahead. So that helps me again to be accountable for another month. So those are the important thing. And for running, in my previous YouTubes I mentioned, like I don't necessarily like running. I always prefer, of course, hiking or walking, but signing up for a race gives me a goal, and that's accountability. And also getting a program like free training program that you can download anywhere online. There are so many different programs, I think, or Nike app has programs, but anything that has the like how much you need to run each day, that helps. And in my case, actually putting that time onto my Google Calendar helps. And depending on how my work schedule or personal schedule change, I can always move the things around. As long as it's in Google Calendar, you can move it around. So just put it in the time in Google Calendar helps for me. So that's important things. And so if for those things that you are not so motivated. But last, the most important thing to remember to keep going is one thing, to decide at least goal, right? Of course, you have 10 things on, or 10, 20, 30, 40 things on your to-do list, but probably you won't be able to do it in one day. And if you do it, maybe it's not healthy. So the important thing is not to do everything, but to decide the priority, urgency, and at least goal. Like at least today I want to finish this one. So usually 1 or up to 3, so that you don't feel good like, oh, I have 7 I didn't do. But you can say, at least I did the top 3 important things. And then that at least can be not just one task, but one initiation, just like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I haven't finished this whole task, but at least I emailed that person to initiate the conversation, or at least I call this company or whatever. And being able to say it's okay to do some things next day, that's really important. Otherwise you get just stressed out, right? I couldn't do this. Like, nah, it's okay. You don't die. And yeah, it's okay to do it partially. You don't have to complete everything. It's just, if you do it partially for a few days, you may be able to finish it. So that's totally fine. So having this, it's okay, is the key. Not to be stressed out. If you're stressed out, then probably you won't be able to focus either. So next day you might have even more pressure and you might not do it. So just like my swimming, right? Just 1 lap is okay, or 1 lap more than last time is okay, but don't pressure yourself like you have to do 4 laps. You couldn't do 4 today. Next time you have to do 8 laps. Lower your hurdles so that you can just easily and enjoyably jump the hurdles. I think that's the key. So today I talk about time management or priority management, whatever you call it. But I hope some of the tips will be helpful to you so you can start using. Thank you so much for coming to my Vulnerably Badass YouTube channel. See you next time.